day. I've just had an amazing workout. So I am feeling absolutely great. I am feeling absolutely energized, right? But I needed to slow it down. I needed to slow it down so we can have a chat. So today I want to talk about self-healing and personal development. They're two different things, and I'm going to have other lives where I'm going to speak about the difference between the two. However, although self-healing and personal development are two different things, they work together. Yes, although self-healing and personal development are two different things, they work together. And the reason that is because if you are not healed, you have not worked on yourself, you still have existing trauma, you still have existing pain, you still have an open wound. I'm not saying that, that you'll be completely healed and unless you're completely healed, then you can't do personal development. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you still have an open wound, what I would suggest is attending therapy while you're also doing personal development. So you can do both. You can do both. However, it becomes a little bit difficult if you're ignoring the self-healing that needs to take place and you jump straight onto personal development. Because what that does is that it becomes forced, it becomes performative, and it becomes as if you're masking. It becomes as if you're trying to look good on the exterior, on the external, but the internal is bleeding. So really focus on your self-healing. So the first couple of videos that I'll be posting this year will focus more on self-healing, because I really do believe that that aspect of things needs to be done. That aspect of things needs to be done. And in no way, shape or form am I saying that, because I'm a personal development coach. However, I'm not a therapist. So what I'm not saying is, I'm not saying that personal development coaching is better than therapy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it works together. If anything, I'd rather see clients after they've gone to therapy, after they've been to therapy. In fact, when I start to work with someone and I do the initial assessment, I always ask, are you seeing a therapist? If I notice that there's still an open wound there's defensiveness, there's avoidance, there's lack of accountability, there is there's this thing about constantly pushing blame on others. The goal of having a personal development coach is so that you can have someone to hold you accountable. The whole point of you having a coach is so that you can have someone to hold you accountable. It's not about going to someone to fix you. Even therapy is not about going to someone to fix you. That's not what it's about. That's not what that's about. It's literally about you going to say, you know what? I've noticed that this is an issue, that there is an issue, an existing issue, and I'm ready to change. I'm ready for things to change, but you have to take full responsibility. However, if you have not worked on your self-healing journey, then the personal development part of it, element of it, will become very difficult. Because you will keep facing barriers because of the limiting beliefs. Because of the limiting beliefs. And the thing about the self-healing is that it shows you where the limiting belief is coming from. It shows you why you find it difficult to move forward. Like, for example, if you come from a background of poverty, if you come from a background of where money wasn't very available within your household, and you're on this journey to building wealth, if you've not addressed the fact that It was difficult. The topic of money was a sore topic, sore subject in your household. When you're now working on financial freedom and building that legacy, that generational wealth, it'll become difficult simply because you've not addressed the fact that you have limiting beliefs. You're working on yourself and you don't even believe that you can attain that wealth. Because mum didn't have it, dad didn't have it. Whole generation that you come from didn't have it or don't have it. You might even be the first person in your family working on this because everybody else doesn't see it as an issue. So self-healing works hand in hand with personal development. Hence why in a lot of my videos, I'm talking about self-healing, even though I'm not a therapist, but I'm acknowledging the fact that this part of the work needs to be done. It has to be done. Otherwise, you're just working on an external. You're going to the gym, your body's looking good, but then you might encounter elements of self-discipline. You might encounter so many roadblocks because you didn't, or if you don't work on the open wound. I'm not saying that you have to be perfect, you have to be, in this place where, okay, you've healed everything now, you can start personal development. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, seek support, seek help if you need it. Seek help, seek support if you need it. Therapy is not, taking therapy doesn't mean that you're weak. In fact, that shows great strength because it is hard. It is difficult. It is hard and it is difficult to utter and speak about certain things that have taken place in your past, in your childhood. It is hard and it is difficult. It can be very, very difficult. And it will feel like you're going through it, you're going through those things all over again. So yes, we're going to talk about, building your skills, we're going to talk about communication, how to show up in the workplace and wherever you go, how to be confident, we're going to do all of that stuff. We're going to do all of that stuff. I love that stuff. That's my thing. We will talk about that. Don't worry about that. However, make sure you sit down with your trauma. And I've got a video coming up about sitting down with your trauma and really naming what is that trauma. You may have a few of them, but you need to sit down and name it. If it's abandonment, it's abandonment. If it's heartbreak, it's heartbreak. If it's bullying, like you've got people who have been bullied, like you were bullied in school, you were bullied at home, you were bullied, and that has affected the way you show up in relationships, the way that you show up in your workplace. You find it difficult to ask for a promotion, you find it difficult to speak up during work meetings simply because somewhere along the line, someone made you believe that your voice wasn't worth hearing, that what you had to say was not important. And we're going to work on all of that. However, I need you to go back, if it's in primary school that it happened, I need you to go back into primary school in your mind. I need you to go back, into that place where that pain was caused, where all of that hurt came from. I need you to write it down. I need you to identify it. I need you to diagnose that issue. Diagnose it. What is it? Because when you go to a doctor and you say, oh, I'm feeling pain here, I'm feeling this, you go through examination prior to a diagnosis. So you can't say, okay, I'm ready to work on myself. Okay, that's great. That's great. But if you're bleeding, there is an open wound. Whatever you do to make yourself look good, to make yourself look more confident, to make yourself appear as if nothing in the world affects you, whatever you decide to do in your personal development, whether you decide, you know, I want to get money, I want to make money. You can have all the money. You can have all the money you want. You won't be happy. You won't be okay. So really go into the root. Like, you need to pull the roots. You need to pull this from the roots. And really dig in and really go in and say, listen, I'm not just working on the exterior, I want to work on the interior as well. Yeah? So that's one of the videos that I've got coming up. I'm about to start my day. I've got a couple of clients I'm seeing today, which I'm really excited about. I'm always excited when people are ready to work on themselves. When people say, all right, when someone says, I'm ready to work on myself, that's when I'm like, yeah, let's go. That's when I'm like, yeah, let's go, let's do it, let's get it going. Because when you have that attitude, and you're ready to face whatever comes your way, you're ready to face when you're ready to face whatever that you've already faced, because the devil you know is better than the one you don't know. The devil you don't know is better than the one that, no, sorry. The devil you know is better than the one you don't know. So if you can't even face your past, you don't know what's coming in the future. And obviously there's no guarantee that you'll be able to face it. However, being able to face that again, it will add an extra layer of confidence. It adds an extra layer of confidence where you're like, you know what? I'm going to face it. I'm going to face it. So I'll speak about that in my next video. And you have a great day. And I'll see you on the next one.